Humans are the result of the envy of the archenemy of the great god, Zurvan. Beings with material bodies that contain fragments of the light of the higher world, and their appearance is the result of the archenemy's imitation of the appearance of the two messengers from the world of light. In this video, we will delve into the Manicheans' beliefs about how humans came into the material world. But first, if you are watching a video from our channel for the first time, click on the subscribe button and join our journey to understand ancient beliefs. One of the most important principles of Manichean beliefs emphasizes the presence of two forces of light and darkness in the world of humans. In videos linked in the description of this video, you can find more information about the foundations of Manichaeism, including the belief that the forces of the world of light, after defeating the forces of darkness, sought to free the swallowed lights that the demons of Ahriman had devoured. But at the same time, Ahriman sought to preserve these lights in his own world. So, under the guidance of Mehr-izad, the forces of light create a world between the two worlds of light and darkness, a world that has no link to the world of light. The main goal is to keep the world of light and its beings away from Ahriman's access. The reason is in the pureness of the inhabitants of the world of light, to the extent that even Zurvan, the Great Father, does not have the capacity to be hostile to his most important enemies, namely Ahriman and his demons. For this purpose, in two stages, Zurvan creates new divine beings that could show negative traits and fight in the battle against Ahriman. As a result, the forces of light, under the command of Mehr-izad, create a world that provides the groundwork for freeing, purifying, and gathering the stolen lights, in such a way that human souls continue to undergo reincarnation until they find wisdom. At this stage after death, they move towards the moon and the sun to be purified, and then head towards a place called New Paradise, a world that Mehr-izad has created as a temporary residence for the purified lights. All these lights at the end of the world, with the disappearance of the material world, will go to the world of light and can join the world under the command of Zurvan. During this time, the material world, which can be considered equivalent to the Matrix in modern interpretations, is under the supervision of the forces of light, and whenever needed, they send forces to help awaken humans. But at the same time, dark forces under the command of Ahriman are strongly active on Earth to prevent the forces of light from succeeding. Because of the nature of the material world, Ahriman has more control over it, and has introduced himself as the god ruling this world. He has defined the principles of monotheistic religions in a way that facilitates the imprisonment of as much light as possible. And rightly, the god of humans in the material world is the one who created the first humans, namely Adam and Eve, according to religious narratives. The first battle of light and darkness happened as the forces of light under the command of Mehr-izad tried to defend the world of light against the attack of the forces under the command of Ahriman. In this battle, the 5 children of Mehr-izad were also present. With the defeat of the army of light, Mehr-izad becomes unconscious and falls into the dark world, while the demons of Ahriman get busy swallowing his children, and thus, for the first time, light and darkness merge. These subsequent battles between the worlds of light and darkness are over these fragments of light that the demons of Ahriman have swallowed. But from Ahriman's point of view, he has achieved his goal. The nature of Ahriman is such that he cannot create beauty and light, but at the same time, he desires to have beings similar to the creations of Zurvan. His attack on the world of light was thus carried out to obtain light, so that he could create beings similar to Zurvan's light beings. So, on the second battle, after the defeat of his army by Mehr-izad, and when he realized that a part of the lights trapped in his demons did not reach the forces of light, he set to work and created 2 larger demons to swallow all the remaining lights that had been left on Earth. These new demons, called Ashkelon and Namrael, immediately after swallowing the lights, sleep together, and the result is the first humans on Earth, Gehmord and Mordiana. For the creation of the first humans, Ahriman also copied from the world of light, and their original examples were the divine beings, Mehr-izad and the Maiden of Light. 2 deities appeared on behalf of Mehr-izad to seduce the imprisoned demons in this world and managed to liberate a significant portion of the lights trapped within the demons. So, Adam and Eve, narrated in the Manichean creation, are the first creations of Ahriman, who have a resemblance to the creations of Zurvan, while also having negative and dark forces within them, such as lust, desire, envy, and hatred received from Ahriman. Mehr-izad's plan from the creation of the Matrix was to prepare and make the path for the imprisoned lights to gain their freedom and move towards the moon and sun, be purified, and go to the new paradise until the final day, when all lights together would return to the world of light. But with Ahriman's trick in the creation of humans, the work of the forces of light becomes difficult. They must first awaken the minds of humans about their luminous nature. Then they can help in their liberation. On this path, the forces of light also send messengers to help humans, and one of the most important of them is a divine being named Isaiah Darakshan, or the Radiant Jesus, someone who, in today's religious narratives, is portrayed as a serpent and is the cause of the expulsion of Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden. According to contemporary religious narratives, while in the Garden of Eden, Eve was deceived by Satan in the form of a serpent, leading Adam to eat the fruit of the tree of knowledge, which resulted in them being expelled from the garden. However, Mani presents a vastly different fate for Adam and Eve. In this narrative, there is no mention of the Garden of Eden. Mehr-izad and Mehr-diana, or Adam and Eve in Mani's account, are created by Ahriman from particles of light that were trapped in this world. Thus the luminous guide, meaning the radiant Jesus, descends to guide them towards the world of light. In his initial attempt, the radiant Jesus can awaken Mehr-izad, guiding him from ignorance towards knowledge and wisdom needed for the ultimate freedom. But Mehr-diana, or Eve in Mani's account, is not amenable to correction. She becomes entangled with Ashkelon, one of the two demons created by Ahriman to capture the lights on earth, effectively considered the father of Mehr-izad and Mehr-diana. The result of their relationship is a redhead son named Cain, possibly the equivalent of contemporary religious narratives, Cain. If you are looking for Abel, the explanation is that Cain later sleeps with Mehr-diana, and the result is a white-haired son named Abel. The red-haired son then sleeps with Mehr-diana again, and two daughters are born to them, named Gihan-Keradmand and Dr. Az. Cain marries Dr. Az, and Gihan-Keradmand is given to the white-haired Abel to marry. However, Mani's narrative does not end with the marriages between father and daughter or mother and son. Gihan-Keradmand is described as possessing brightness and radiance that were not seen in Dr. Az. This likely means that she is more beautiful because an angel descends on Gihan-Keradmand, advising her to take good care of herself, as she will bear two children who will bring joy to God. At the same time, this angel sleeps with Gihan-Keradmand, and the two daughters promised by him earlier are born from this relationship, named Faryad and Poor Faryad. Abel, the white-haired son, upon learning of this matter, dismisses the discussion of the angel's appearance to his wife, and goes to his mother with the complaint against Cain, implying that he has impregnated Abel's wife. Cain, being Abel's father, hears about the accusation and is enraged in a fight with Abel, who is both his son and his brother. You can probably guess the outcome. Cain kills Abel. Meanwhile, Mehr-diana, who had learned magic from Ashkelon, approaches Mehr-izad and strips off her clothes in front of him, creating the groundwork for the intimacy of these two. The result of this encounter is a beautiful baby named Shaith or Seth in religious narratives. When the news reaches Ashkelon, he falls ill and says that this baby is not from us. Mehr-diana, in a desperate attempt to gain Ashkelon's approval, tries to kill the baby, but Mehr-izad intervenes. By drawing 7 lines around the baby Seth, he prevents any harm from coming to him. This child is far purer and more aware than his father. In various parts of the narrative, Mehr-izad is enticed by Mehr-diana multiple times, resulting in more human beings being born into this world. Yet each time Seth reproaches his father and advises him to move towards the light with him. Ultimately, he convinces his father to join him in seclusion within a temple, while Mehr-diana and Cain stay with the forces of Ahriman. At the same time, the human race continues as the offspring of the initial unions between Mehr-diana and Mehr-izad. In this way, With the continuation of the human race, Ahriman's second phase of the plan to capture the lights of the luminous world on Earth becomes practical. With each generation of humanity, their internal light divides between them, and the forces of light face the challenge of awakening more and more dormant souls. At this stage, Bahman as the guiding deity enters the scene. You may recall from Zoroastrian narratives that Bahman was responsible for bringing Zoroaster to Ormazd. In Mani's narrative, Bahman, along with the radiant Jesus and the Maiden of Light, forms a small cosmic temple, symbolizing the material body of humans as a sample of the original cosmos. They send special spiritual forces from this temple to Earth to teach wisdom and knowledge to the children of humans. These forces manifest as awakened souls within the prophets' bodies, and Mani himself is described as one of them, someone who managed to present the path to enlightenment to humans in a way that his doctrine gained prevalence worldwide during his time. However, Ahrimanic forces, due to their greater dominance over the Earth, succeeded in eliminating Mani and transforming his teachings into a demonic religion. They also managed to completely erase Manichaean beliefs within a short period. As always, if you have watched the video up to this point, don't forget to like and comment. And if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe as we are going to delve more into the world of ancient beliefs.